Hey everyone, what's the crack? Welcome back to the channel. The Cube Controls GTX just arrived this minute. I can't wait to get it unboxed and compare it to my CSX2. Can't wait to get it mounted, all that kind of stuff. This is just the unboxing and first impressions video. I'll do a more detailed review in the future. But yeah, let's stop talking. Let's just unbox this thing. I really hope it looks as good in the flesh as it does in the images. Let's do it. So first thing to note, as well as I know these are very high-end products, it's really cool to receive it with this really nice branding on the outside of the box. It's not hidden, it's very out there. You know that your Cube Controls wheel has arrived when this arrives on your doorstep, which is a pretty nice feeling. So inside, similar to what we had with the CSX2. So again, this is the beautifully presented, I guess, inside of the box. I mean, that box is so nice. You'd nearly put that on a shelf in its own right. Let's start opening this up. I'm going to face this towards the camera. I want to see it myself, but I also want to share it with you guys. So so far it's exactly like unboxing the CSX2 behind me. Here we go. We've got a good bit of padding in here. Looks like this may be a, not 100% sure. There's a lot of padding in here, so I think that this may actually be just a pre-release box. I'm not 100% sure about that. When I ordered my CSX2, I got a t-shirt in there and there was nice padding and stuff in there. I've got all the various hardware, I guess, that we would expect. This is very similar to the existing stuff that I have. It's actually slightly different. There is a connector for the steering wheel. There's a USB, it's like a USB extension cable, but it's almost like it doesn't need a standalone power adapter. So that's a very welcome addition if that's the case. It just seems to have a USB extension cable, but I'll figure that out in due course. But that's pretty cool. There's another little packet here, probably with mounting hardware or maybe the tweezers for the stickers and stuff like we saw before. So let's put that to the side and see what else is in here. Let's build the suspense and just look at the rest of the stuff that's in here. Okay, so we've got the little GTX user guide in here. So I expect the use of this wheel to be very similar to the CSX2. Again, I'll go through all of that stuff in the proper review. This is just an initial impressions and unboxing video. Some stickers, big sticker sheet here. Stickers are a very different shape to the CSX2. Let's see if these stickers have the same issues that the CSX2 stickers have. You can see that there are some missing. They're the ones that have already been pre-applied. So the quote that's on here as well: dreaming is a necessity, although every dream needs a glimpse of reality. That's the exact same as the CSX2 box. So my guess is that this is just exactly the same box for now. The way that it's packaged, I would expect it to be packaged slightly better for the real deal, for the people who are paying the big money. This is a sample product. Here we go, guys. Are we ready? Everybody ready? Here comes the suspense. Really nice little bag that it's in. I'm going to put it face down. I'm going to open this bag. Here we go. Oh my God. Look at this. Whoa. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And there are no stickers applied to this yet or anything. Well, actually there are. The buttons have stickers on them. The encoders feel very similar. They're slightly different, I think. They do feel similar. I'll have to put them side by side, but I know they do actually feel quite similar. We've got our little rotational hat here, which is somewhat maybe for when your fingers are here, maybe so that you don't touch that while you're driving. There's a little, you can probably see here, this little raised area there, which is interesting to see. What else have we got? What's different? So I guess the main thing that is very different is you don't have the big rotational toggle switches on there. We've got our rotary encoders here at the sides. We've got our lovely clutch adapter. Oh, that's really, really nice. So that's way tighter here than it was on the CSX2. On the CSX2 it's quite loose. Now that gives a really, really clean and smooth rotation. So that's really nice to see. And of course our beautiful screen as well. Well, how cool is that? Let me grab the CSX2 and let's do some quick side-by-side first impressions. So let's do a really quick side-by-side of the CSX2 and the brand new GTX. First thing I guess you notice is that they're quite a different shape now. The size of the GTX is not much bigger. I must do a proper measurement on that. Doesn't seem much bigger. The size of the grips seems quite similar. Obviously you've got quite a different shape. You've got this long bar at the bottom for this more GT style rim, and it's a lot taller as well. The screen sits up higher than it would on the CSX2. I think that's going to be really nice depending on your seating position. This is great, and I actually remarked in my video that when you're in a Formula position you look at that screen a lot more, but over time I guess I've adapted, so I look at the screen quite a lot now while racing, but I have to look down quite a bit, so I'll be interested to see if this is actually easier to look at because of its elevated position. Looking at the switches on here, you've got all these rotary encoders. You don't have these larger rotary encoders which you have on the CSX2. I guess they're a lot more kind of I guess Formula style. You wouldn't really find these in a DTM car, but you do still have the encoder functionality here, which is really, really nice. So you still have those 4 encoders. You still have your 7-way hat switch as well, which is really, really nice. It has a kind of a lip up around it, which I guess is for because it's so close to where your hands are. With the CSX, where your hands are, it's very much near your thumb. With the GTX, it's down slightly lower. So I'd say, so that you don't accidentally hit it while you're driving, there's a little kind of a raised plastic bit around there, which I think is probably quite clever. They probably discovered that in their testing. Same over here with the buttons. A lot of these stickers are already pre-applied. The buttons are exactly the same, and I can't wait to see actually how they light up compared to the CSX2. And we don't have these toggle switches, which I quite liked for headlights and wipers and stuff like that. So that's something that's missing. Another thing that we don't have here is, do we have less buttons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 buttons on here, and only 9 on the GTX. So a few less buttons. We have a rotary encoder at the side here, at the side there. So we have 1, 2. We don't have these scroll wheels, which you get on the CSX2, so they're missing as well. So it has less inputs for sure, even at a glance. We do have the lovely clutch adjustment that we have on the CSX2 as well. And the first thing that I noticed is that the clutch adjustment here is actually way, way heavier than it is on the CSX2. Now there may actually be a way of adjusting that. I've never gone and adjusted that. This is the standard configuration for it, but there's every chance that it's adjustable on both. But it's really nice and heavy, and I like that. The carbon is just glorious. I mean, they're amazing looking wheels. Look at the two of them. They really are just gorgeous. Let's have a look at these shifters. The shifters do look slightly different. Let's shift with that. Okay. So they sound different. So that's interesting. We've got our clutch paddles as well, which are actually quite nice and heavy there. I think, yeah, they're far heavier than they are on the CSX2. So that's great. I'm not sure, again, how adjustable that is. I don't think that's adjustable, but they're lovely and heavy on the GTX, which is really, really nice. And we, of course, have 3 pairs of paddles on here. Exactly the same connectors and all that kind of stuff. So the connector used, it's all plastic stuff. It's not aluminium. And seeing as all the knobs and stuff are all aluminium, it would be nice to have those connectors be aluminium as well, but we'll figure all that out in the actual review. Now I see that these shifter paddles actually say or spec on them. Not sure what that means, or spec. I think they may have changed who does their shifters. Again, I'll give you guys a close-up of the shifters in a future video, but this is just really my first impressions, and as you can see, it's a fairly raw video, nothing too prepared in here, but look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. The Alcantara feels nice, the way it's finished, and the sections are all really beautiful. You guys will see that in some of the close-up shots. Other than that, I think that I really just need to get a quick release mounted on here and get this installed on my rig, because I'm very excited about that. I don't have the new Cube Controls quick release. They have a proprietary quick release, which should be really cool when it's actually available, because then you can just click them on and off, and you don't need to plug out your USB cable and plug it in, so that is going to be a huge thing. But yeah, other than that, let's get it mounted to rig. Let's see what it looks like on the rig. So here we go, first impressions on the rig. This is the first time I guess that I've had it mounted here and that I'm actually sitting in front of it. The grips feel really nice. The distance of the paddles, this is all default the way it came. Really nice. The clutch paddles are a little bit far away, but I guess that kind of makes sense as well, because once you're done with the clutch paddles, they're kind of out of the way. There's a lovely resistance on the clutch paddles, so a lot better than on the CSX2. That's really nice. One thing that's really nice, I don't know if you guys can see it there, is these little cutouts on the paddles. They're actually really nice to get your fingers into, especially with gloves. You can kind of feel really nice. Yeah, you can just feel them really well. I am using gloves right now. I'm going to try it without gloves as well. We've got this Alcantara finish, so in general I use gloves with Alcantara. These little rotary encoders are really nice to get to. The ones on the face are nice as well. There's a good bit of, I guess, blank space here, but that's quite nice for the logo, Italian flag here as well. One thing that instantly I noticed is that, especially with gloves, it's very difficult to use this rotary encoder. Now the hat functionality is perfect, but yeah, really difficult to turn that. And these ones down here are a little bit hampered by the bottom of the wheel. I'll obviously go into more detail on that and see if that's actually a problem as I use this for a longer period of time. The shifters feel really nice, so they're actually, my gut is saying they're nicer than the CSX2 right now. The CSX2 ones are a little bit kind of smaller. These have a nicer, actually let's just, yeah, they're definitely nicer than the CSX2, so that's good. What else? The clutch adjuster is really nice. I don't have a clutch in this particular car that I'm using, but let's jump in and have a drive. So here we go. I've mapped my limiter to the paddle. A lot of people ask what are the extra paddles for. I've actually mapped it for my limiter and for flashing the lights. So if I want to flash the lights to someone, I can just click the paddle up here. It's really nice while driving not to have to go and find those buttons. So here we go. As you can see, that screen is pretty glorious. We're driving around Silverstone here. I'm not going to be setting any lap records because well, I guess I'm not that fast, but I'm also just trying to concentrate on the functionality here and where everything is. I've got my adjusters for the stuff that's on screen. Finding my bearings here. It does feel really nice. It doesn't feel too dissimilar to the CSX2. It's nice to have this extra little bit up at the top of the wheel though. It is nice to really get your thumb in there and really kind of push it into those corners. One thing that instantly is just lovely compared to the CSX2 is, and it's something that I touched on in my CSX2 video, is in a GT seating position like what I have right now, the screen and the CSX2 is down here. It's actually a full, I guess it's about 3 inches higher than it would be on the CSX2, and it's lovely having it almost cover a little bit of your screen. It feels like it becomes part of your screen, which is really, really nice. We've got our tire pressures, our current lap time, last lap, best lap, stuff like that. Brake bias, so I think brake bias I have, maybe I don't have it mapped. I've got my traction control mapped. Turn the traction control off there, so we can see that it's 1.0. It's really, really nice how it all works. This Ultimate Game Tech screen is just, it's very, very nice. Yeah, it's got some more buttons up here. I haven't really mapped many of the buttons. One concern that some CSX2 owners might have is that this has less inputs. So for instance, it doesn't have that toggle, the toggle switch for headlights and stuff, which I quite liked. So on the CSX2, got these little switches. Oh, got these little switches. They're quite nice. So one really big advantage that it has over the CSX2 is that it uses 2 USB cables effectively, rather than having a USB cable and a power supply. So it uses the 2 USB cables. They're both plugged into a USB hub at the back of my monitor stand, and everything works extremely well. So that's nice. Don't have to worry about having an extra plug socket. I mean, it's always going to be a compromise, either a socket or a USB port. But seeing as you're plugging into USB anyway, it's yeah, it's quite nice to have it as 2 USB ports. So I like that, and it just it does drive extremely well. I'm not driving extremely well because I'm trying to see what the wheel is doing and how it actually feels. I mean, it's bang on consistent with everything that I'm seeing in game. The screen is just really nice. Yeah, I really like this layout as well. The layout is lovely on the screen. There we go. We see some lap data coming in here. Last lap 2:31, absolutely useless. But you can see your current, you can see your delta on there as well. So having a screen like this really means that you don't need as many on-screen apps, which, as I mentioned for the CSX2, really adds to that simulation experience. You get a lot of that great information without needing to have stuff floating on your screen. As I say, I mean, this is just the first impressions video. I will go into a lot more detail. The price is pretty hefty on this. It starts at €1599, which is a lot of money. This particular model has the extra paddles as well. I think it's around €1650 or €1700 for this model. So it's yeah, it's not cheap. But the type of people who buy this type of gear, those type of prices, you know, the price of a track weekend for a steering wheel, they get to use the steering wheel for years. The tires that they waste on a track weekend, they never see them again. Now I know it's not the same thing as the real deal, but you know, that simulation, that ability to do it wherever and wherever is pretty nice. So a lot of people see immense amount of value in a steering wheel like this. The harsh reality of it is most of us will never actually own one of these or be able to justify buying one of these. So it really is a kind of it is a niche market. It is a, you know, an eye candy dream product. But it is a lovely, lovely product to use. It feels very, very premium. Just feels nice and yes, solid. The build quality is very good. The grips, the way they're all kind of they attach and stuff, is just really, really nice. Yeah, my only gripe so far would be, I guess, not being able to use that rotary encoder on the hat switch. What else? No, it feels pretty good if I look at the road instead of the wheel. It does feel pretty good. So there you have it, a brief unboxing and first impressions of the brand new Cube Controls GTX wheel. I'm sorry that the box wasn't exactly packaged the way that it's going to be for you guys. There was a little, a lot of foam in there and stuff like that. I imagine that's not going to be the case. I'm not sure if they're going to be giving a free t-shirt like they did with the CSX2, but the wheel itself, the build quality is really, really nice. All the switches and stuff really work nice. The new gear shifters are nice. The clutch paddles, all that really, really good first impressions. I am going to do a more extended review with this because I don't think that you can do a review in a matter of hours. You need to spend a good bit of time with a product. So I'm going to be using this as my main wheel for the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to just see, how does it compare to the CSX2? I will be doing a comparison video directly between the CSX2. If you want to know anything in the meantime, if something is, preventing you from going and buying something or having a complete opinion on any of the products that I review, do hop into my Discord. The link is in the description below. So do hop in there. I'm usually, if I'm available, I'm more than happy to chat to people. Other than that, there is a full review video of this coming. This is just my first impressions and unboxing. Thanks a million everyone for watching, and I'll chat to you later.